All right. Early leans. We know we got to talk about Carolina as a 1.5 point dog against the Bucs at home. We don't like betting Carolina on the road as a favorite. We don't mind betting Carolina as a dog. And if you honestly, which team off of a bad loss feels like it has more momentum? Right, more momentum. Which team feels like it has more spirit? Which team feels like it's playing harder? Which team feels like it might be running away from its coach? Which team is fully invested in its coach? As I say all those things, it makes me think, oh my God, I got to bet the Bucs. But we want to bet the Niners or the Panthers.
Yeah, the Bucks fan base. I've been on their Reddit, all the Liam Cohen articles I can read. It's brutal when you let that man walk out the door, and Todd Bowles just looks totally aged out and lost as a head coach. I mean, their defense, Tampa, is atrocious. So I'm with you. I'm not going to rush to bet the 1.5 though, because I do think, Chad, we might be able to get twos in there. Like that Panthers
Yeah.
loss, that was a bad loss. That's going to be more fresh in people's mind than the Tampa loss. Which Tampa, you can make an excuse that they are technically undervalued, right? They had a 14-point lead. They blew it. Like they had that game in so many ways against Atlanta, and so many things had to break right for Atlanta for them to lose it. So that's a really interesting one to watch. What the number's going to do for that one. For me, games that just jumped out right away. I know it's insane, Chad, but your green your Bears are 2.5 3-point dogs right now.
Well, that was the only other one on my radar, really. It's actually in some places it's two. In some
So
places,
it's the pros are hitting it. Then I saw some threes. So yeah, I'd grab the early Bear 2.5. It just Green Bay has so many injuries, and even though the Bears have had injuries, I don't know. You guys, your run game is so dominant, and the Bears again in this matchup, I think they'll be able to run against this Green Bay team. So I'm really excited to see what the pros do with that one. I could see early money coming in on LaFleur's Green Bay team after a bad loss like that. So I'm excited to see what the market does with that.
yeah, totally agree.
All right, let's hit it again. Chargers plus 1.5 at Dallas. I gave you those stats. Herbert is a dog. I got to stop overthinking and just keep betting it. I mean, he's what 12-2 now as a dog. He just always covers his dog. It's crazy, Herbert. And everything I thought he would be in that game, he did struggle in some aspects. Right, he only scored 16 points, but the hand was never truly an issue in my opinion. Like it was just what we've seen him time and time again. He gets moved off his spot where there's a heavy pass rush, but this indoors with all the elements controlled and him being 3 weeks now since surgery, I think this line flips, especially if the Vikings pull off an upset tonight. So I'm going to take the early Chargers as a dog line. And last one, can't believe I'm doing it, but Patriots +3, +2.5 right now at the Ravens. Something's just off with Lamar. If that felt like since he lost that game, not so much the
Oh
Ravens
yeah.
won.
Every
So
time I was watching that game, it felt like since he was moving the ball, and then they just couldn't score. Like something
Joe
fluky
just
would
had a
happen.
horrible day. So I'm gonna back Vrabel, New England as a dog here on the road, and I'm almost positive the public's gonna come in on this Ravens team. I think people are gonna be a little sour now on this Patriots team. I think they'll have a letdown here, but I like that number a lot.
All right. So what we're looking at right now, Carolina +1.5. We're holding off. Chargers +1.5 against Dallas. Bears +2.5 against Green Bay. New England +2.5, +3 against the Ravens. Uh, we won today with the Rams and with the Bills. We lost with the Packers and the Chiefs. We have the Vikings +5.5 tonight. Give me your shame on you.
Shame on you. Pretty easy. Got a shame on you to all these Patriots fans. Oh my God, were they loud and cocky? If you would have heard or gone on social media chat for that first half, not that it feels like all the worst people are Patriots fans. I feel bad for the Patriots fans. Your loudest fans are the worst people on the internet, and they're the loudest ones. And they took the most insane victory lap because they say they're veteran and they've been there, they've done that. Amateur hour taking a victory lap in a divisional game against Josh Allen when we were up 21-0. So my God, that felt so good until the witch got killed in that Chiefs game. Other than that, this Patriots loss. Just their fans, they're so loud. They think they know football because they had Tom Brady. It's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. It's like you guys don't know football. You just had one of the greatest dynasties ever. It's they're they're a little ahead of their time. They want Drake Maye to be that guy. He looks the part, but taking that victory lap just was such a bad look for your guys' fan base. But I know it's not all of you, right? I'm an Eagles fan. I know 1/3 of my fan base were full on idiots. They wanted to bench an all-pro Super Bowl MVP quarterback after a couple of bad weeks. So I get it, Patriots fans, but man, the loud ones, I just rarely do I wait to see the end of a game to go back and check people's comments and just hate read. And yeah, I threw on Boston local radio when I drove back from Atlantic City. It was a fun hour drive back to my place listening to these fans up in New England talking about their team and that Bills loss. So I love it. I love it.
By the way, speaking of Tom Brady, great line today on a Matthew Stafford throw that was a complete and total dart. He called it a one ball, and then he goes, "That was just a piss missile." I don't even know what that means, but it sounds like a great line that they used to talk about in the locker room. It was fantastic. Listen, how do you not shame the Chiefs up and down the organization? The fact that they really, for all it's worth, they kind of never did figure out their offensive line issues. They never did figure out their receiver issues. They never did figure out their running back issues. They knew they had these issues coming out of the Super Bowl blowout last year. And I think they just believed, well, we got Patrick Mahomes and he's going to make his magic. And you can't do that again and again and again if you don't have the personnel around you. They were waiting for Rashee Rice. They thought Xavier Worthy would develop into that guy. Hollywood Brown hasn't been that guy. Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt aren't those guys. Travis Kelce is a year older. Their defense did not come up big when they needed that defense to come up big again and again and again and again. The roster needed to be fixed, and they kind of didn't fix it. And as you pointed out, they didn't draft well. So we can go on and on about the deficiencies on the field, the misplays, the bad calls. But at the end of the day, they kind of didn't have the talent to do what they needed to do. And we saw that in the Super Bowl last year, and they just didn't develop enough to put it in place to be able to execute this year. So shame on the Chiefs personnel team for not building a roster that could make Patrick Mahomes continue to be the hero that he had always been. And now he's got a torn ACL.
It's over. Your season's over. It's not even January and your season's over, Kansas City fans. Oh my God. So good.
This has been Sharper Square, presented by Hard Rock Bet, part of the Volume Podcast Network. We will be back with our next Sharper Square on Tuesday to go over the entire NFL slate. Watch or listen on YouTube at Sharper Square. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, download us from Spotify, Apple Pods, wherever you get your pods. Rate, review, subscribe, leave us 5 stars, say whatever you want. Feedback is a gift. Until next time, love you.
Hey, baby. Hey, baby. We're going to be here all day. We're going to be here all day, baby. I like this kind of party.